Funding for this video is brought to you in part by Luisa and from viewers like you. Thank you. What's up, punks, and welcome to the video. Or should I say welcome to Vlogust. You've heard of Vlogtober, you've heard of Vlogmas, but welcome to Vlogust, baby, a term coined by our Lord and Savior, Sean McComb. Seeing as I've started an every other week uploading situation, I've decided to present to you a super long video to celebrate this funky, fresh holiday. In this video, the main focus is just getting back on our feet. Because if you happen to be fresh meat, hi, my name is Allie. Around these parts, we balance daily life alongside disability, celebrate mundanity, and read a whole lot of books. I recently had to take 2 weeks off of video making because I suffer from hemiplegic migraines, which are migraines that mimic strokes. And a nice bout of those striking plus hospital visits set off a good old-fashioned autistic burnout. And then immediately after those 2 weeks, my husband and I got the flu. So it's been a wild ride. But we're here, we're queer, we're ready to get weird. And by getting weird, we're just gonna focus on health and wellness. Try and balance our hobbies and our self-care and our work and our responsibilities and all that jazz, while also reading for Women in Translation Month. Happy Women in Translation Month! But before we kick off this week's festivities, let's hear it from today's sponsor, who is none other than Luisa. A carbon-neutral online jewelry shop who has been friends of this channel for quite some time now. Each piece is so timeless, you can wear them time and time again. You've got classic simple pieces that can match any outfit and situation, but also funky fresh pieces if you want to spice up your day. So let's raise a toast to another year of working together. Luisa has re-signed me to be a brand ambassador, which is so exciting and I feel so lucky. I love working with them because all of their jewelry is gorgeous gold or silver and eco-friendly, but most importantly, I was a customer of theirs before we even worked together. And we've already had such a lovely year together, so cheers! Basically, anytime you catch me wearing jewelry in any video ever, it's from Luisa. I recently scooped up 3 new pieces from them and they're all earrings, so I've nakedified my lobes so we can decorate them together right now. First, let's fill up the holes that have been stretched, so I selected these mini huggy hoops that are honestly one of my favorite things on their website because they're lightweight and they fit snug to my ear. I lost one from my previous pair somehow and have been so heartbroken ever since, so I'm very stoked to have a complete pair again. Today we're going for an asymmetrical moment, so I'm going to put this Sia link on one ear, which has a sparkly stud for one hole that's connected to this little safety pin looking guy. And for the other ear, I'm going to throw on this pair of Hana Lee hoops. Altogether, I'm feeling very sparkly, very fun, and very put together. So if you'd like to get your own pair of these or want to scoop up anything else they've got on their website, you can click the link in the description box below and get 20% off your order using the code AllieV20. Elevate your everyday and save money while doing so. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's video, Luisa. Now let's dive right into the reading and the self-care. In this video, we will be reading 7 books in 7 days with a heavy emphasis on Women in Translation Month. The first book we'll be reading together is The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa, translated from Japanese by Stephen Snyder. This is about an island where a tyrannical government alters people's memories and makes very mundane objects illegal. For Kate's Needs, or the English title Forget-Me-Not by Alex Guerin, the original language is French. I have the Dutch version, but the English version is translated by Montana Kane. This is a graphic novel story about a granddaughter and her grandmother who is suffering from memory loss. Then we'll read The Employees by Olga Ravin, translated from Danish by Marvin Aitken. This is an experimental short story that follows these humanoids and humans who are all at a work site, here to critique capitalism and what it means to be a human. After that is My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante, translated from Italian by Anne Goldstein. This is a story about 2 best friends in the town that they grew up in from childhood to adulthood. And the last translated work that we will be reading together is When I Sing Mountains Dance by Irene Sola, translated from Catalan by Mara Faye Letham. This is a poetic story that follows a lineage of characters who all live in the Pyrenees Mountains. Those are the 5 translated books that we'll be reading. We will also be working through this CBT workbook to manage pain because, hello, this is a chronic illness, chronic pain zone. And we will also be reading a graphic novel that I pre-ordered in January, published in May, but only decided to show up to my door very recently. But I'm not going to tell you what it is yet because we haul it in this video. Speaking of, and spoiler alert, I do get some books in the mail, so we're gonna have 2 miniature little book hauls in this vlog, but then I also end up going used bookstore and comic book shopping, and so there's also a pretty big haul towards the end of this video. There's all kinds of treats hidden in this video. We're gonna make food, we're gonna read a lot, we're gonna exercise, we're gonna suffer, survive, and thrive together for like an hour or something. So let's go back in time to an Allie who's doing much less great than I am at 3 a.m. on a Sunday morning, shall we? Bye!
Good morning. Coming at you live at 3:20 in the morning. I've been awake for about an hour. This has just been something my brain's been doing like all summer. It will not let me sleep for more than a couple hours at a time. Sometimes it's a sign that a migraine is gonna come. Sometimes it's not. I've just been watching YouTube videos for the past hour. Like, I want to read and be productive, but just because my physical form is awake doesn't mean my spiritual form is awake. Ugh, you know? But let's talk about what I'm reading while we're here, shall we? I've been reading The Myth of Normal by Gabor Mate and Daniel Mate for months. I picked up in May. It's really well written and it's very interesting. It's a nonfiction about how the way the Western world is structured makes us sick, and then also consequentially because of that structure we just get sicker, we can't heal. For the most part, this book has been about how trauma and adverse experiences in life will leave you chronically ill, which is interesting and validating on one hand, but on the other hand, it's been making me feel really hopeless. So I think that's why I haven't been picking it up. Yeah, it's so interesting. It just leaves me in such a bad mood every time. And to combat this feeling, I've picked up this pain workbook. It's a CBT therapy based interactive book to help you navigate your pain. This book, however, there's a lot of talk now about how traditional talk therapy does not work for autistic folks. So maybe that's why, because it's CBT based, it's rubbing me the wrong way. CBT to me is just very fancy gaslighting. I just struggle to think my way out of my reality. It also just might be the case that this type of chronic pain workbook is not for brain type disorders, because there's a moment where she's like, just because you have a migraine doesn't mean you can't go for a walk. And I'm like, girl, I can't speak or navigate my motor functions when I'm in a migraine. Like, what do you mean? We're like, let's think about all the lovely things that you can do while you're still in pain. And I'm like, all I can do is lay in a dark room and scream. Like, I would love to read a book or watch a movie or laugh with friends, but that's just not an option for me. And then she has me thinking that I just have like a victim mindset because that's the way that it is. She's like, oh, well, the more that you cater to the pain and just lay in bed and rest, the more pain you're gonna experience, which is just kind of like, it's not helping. Picked it up on Kindle. I don't have a Kindle, I have an iPad, but apparently, I didn't know this, you can download the Kindle app and then you can download Kindle books on the Kindle app, which is nice, but I personally hate digital reading, but since it's a workbook, it stays open while you're writing on the side. So that's why I did it that way. Anyway, very conflicting feelings, struggling essentially is the bottom line. That's my thesis. I'm struggling. So those are the nonfictions. It is also August, which is Women in Translation Month. I was gonna do a really fun readathon. I was gonna make a fun bingo board for the Patreon, but my body had other plans. I currently have 2 books that I'm reading for that as well. I picked up The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa, which is the author of The Housekeeper and the Professor, which is a book that I really like. This is about an island where randomly this tyrannical government decides that things are illegal, like very mundane things, bells, ribbons, perfume, and they confiscate all of that one item, and then everyone's memories of it go away. Slowly just everything is disappearing. I'm about halfway through. It's such an interesting concept, like 5 stars to this concept. The pacing leaves a lot to be desired. I never look forward to picking this up. I'm never like really hooked. I'm more so just kind of waiting in the themes, which it's the themes that are making it worth it. I really like all this talk surrounding memory. It's interesting in that way. Could be nice to finish it today, but since I've been up since 2 in the morning, we are not going to pressure ourselves. This video is a self-care, getting back on our feet, resetting for the end of summer type beat. I also have For Hates Me Needs by Alex Garand, which is a graphic novel about our protagonist whose grandmother has Alzheimer's. It is in Dutch. I'm really looking forward to this one. The art seems really great. I love the color palette. I love graphic novels. So that's where we're at. Those are the 4 books I have in my arsenal right now. My brain is starting to feel a little weird. We're not off to a great start, but you know what? You win some, you lose most. We're still here, and that's something. Hello, hello. Welcome to later in the day. I fell asleep for like another 3 hours. So we slept from like 10 to 2 and then 6 to 9. I don't know either, but we're feeling pretty decent, all things considering. It is technically legally Sunday, so we're gonna do what we do to combat the Sunday scaries and set us up for the ultimate level of success throughout our working weekdays, okay? What I typically like to do on Sundays is nothing as far as working and socializing is concerned, but everything as far as self-care is concerned. So I
start off by oiling my hair. I've got the TikTok rosemary oil for my roots and some omelet oil for my ends. And then while that sits, I do a deep clean of the house. As long as I have the spoons, as long as my body will allow it. And today is the first time in a hot minute that she's allowing it. I'm so excited. This week, what I really want to do is make sure that I go to the gym and do my little incline walk every morning. Because of my migraines, I have to put my weight training type stuff on hold, which sucks because I love having strong legs. Really, the only exercise that my body has been allowing is walking. So that's what we're gonna do. I also really want to journal every day, not just brain dump emotional journaling, but also touching base with my agenda. I learned a new phrase very recently while reading. It's cognitive overstimulation. I knew about sensory overstimulation when the noises are too loud, lights are too bright, etc. But I think I suffer from cognitive overstimulation way more. And that's saying something. And that's basically when your brain is just processing too much information and it can't organize it or make sense of it. I noticed that I have fewer meltdowns when I'm emotionally journaling and planning bullet journaling. Look at how greasy. So, getting all the trapped energy out of my body via movement, getting all the trapped feelings out of my body via pen and paper. Check. Those are the two biggest ones. But then for the most part, during the whole week, I just want to keep a good balance of all things, you know? I want to stay off my phone. I've deleted social media from my phone, but I do sometimes check it on the computer. It does hit different, so I don't stay on it as long. But I do want to not check TikTok at all this week. Talk about cognitive overstimulation. Oh my god. Just a stream of constant information and everyone's hot takes and everyone's arguing in the comments and everyone's just, ugh, it grosses me out. It freaks me out. It's just very overwhelming. So we're gonna stay off of it this week and instead nourish the hobbies that I actually enjoy and feel fulfilled from, like playing an instrument or calling my mom, making art for y'all, things like that. Like there are so many better things I could be doing with my time. And I don't even spend that much time on these things. Even the little amount of time that I do spend on these apps still sends me into turmoil. So we're just gonna try and be our healthiest, stunkiest, freshest selves this week. It has been like bare minimum survival weeks. And now this week, ooh, I am ready to be alive, you know? I have felt dead for so long and I'm just excited to exist. I'm excited to be here. So, both Lawrence and I had a cold this past week, so the grime, the garbage, it has built up. That's where we're at. Happy Sunday. Let's clean this apartment. It's gonna feel really good. Let's do it. Break.
House is clean, we are clean, wind. We've got like 100 pages of the memory police left, so I'm gonna read this in the sunshine with my sleepy tea. Cheers to a better night's sleep. Hello. Got the new habit trackers for the week printed out. I made these in Procreate and I've uploaded them on the Patreon. You don't have to sign up for the top tier for this one, which is the tier that gets you all the fun calendar designs and wallpaper designs. However, if you do want to join the design tier, I mean, this month it's a really cute duck pattern, I'm just saying. As long as you're on the Patreon in any way, shape, or form, you have access to these. I uploaded the habit trackers as a thank you because I made these for myself when I was taking time off and I really needed to focus on getting my body back together, getting my brain back together, because I was a little bit burnt out and none of my hobbies were automatic. Everything was in manual mode, and so I needed this reminder. There's two different kinds. You color in a block for each little task that you do throughout the week. I get to color in a box for getting ready for bed and reading and playing music and eating breakfast. Woo! Dopamine. So if you want to track a lot of habits, or if you want to track a few habits over multiple weeks, these empty versions that you can fill in yourself are on the Patreon. I'm gonna hang these up. We can give ourselves some points, but first we need to pick something else to read because we finished reading The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa just last night. I thought that this was one of the most creative concepts that I've ever heard about in a book. The execution was so disappointing to me. This strange situation had me intrigued, but the pacing just left me so bored, and I was pretty disappointed with the ending and just pretty disappointed overall, which I was not expecting. It has some really lovely themes about memory, which were very reminiscent of the ones that you can find in like We Spread by Ian Reid, for example. So it was okay, but I think it just held so much potential that it didn't quite meet for me personally. It was an okay start to Women in Translation Month. The Memory Police by Yoko Ogawa, translated by Stephen Snyder. Thank you, Stephen. But I truly have so many books on my TBR, but I also set aside a stack. Let's address the stack. We have The Employees by Olga Ravin. This is one that I am super interested in. I've heard it compared to The Factory, which is a book that I really liked. From my understanding, it's a short fiction that critiques capitalism. It's translated from Danish by Marvin Atkin. Heard nothing but good things about this. Very excited. She finally picked up My Brilliant Friend by Ella Ferrante. I know. Translated from Italian by Anne Goldstein. I am so afraid of this one because the pressure is so high, and it also seems like a big brain hot girl smart girl book, and sometimes I am not big brained enough nor hot enough to grasp hot girl smart girl books. But I've heard this one compared to The Inseparables by Simone de Beauvoir, which is a book that I read last year for Women in Translation Month, which was this great short French story about these two girls, best friends from childhood to adulthood. This is the same kind of vibe. We'll see. We'll see. So I'm gonna set these two aside. But y'all, last night was the first night that I slept for 7 hours straight without NyQuil or any kind of external assistance in over a month. My sleep has been a nightmare. My health has been a nightmare. You know this. To wake up in the morning and it's kind of light out, that is such a huge success. That's not even a little victory. That's a massive undertaking. Woo! But I am gonna take it a little bit easy because we're still not feeling 100%. Let's hang up our habit trackers and get some more stuff done. Happy Monday. Welcome to my dirty kitchen. I'm cutting up some veggies right now. I'm making this giant vegetable bake that I'm gonna put on top of this tofu puree for maximum vitamins, maximum protein power. I'll break my no TikTok rule in order to share with y'all the video that inspired this recipe, though I'm not following it to a T. I have a funny story for you. One day I was on the phone with my mom and we were talking about the movie The Labyrinth, and specifically how much we loved the little worm that Sarah meets that asks her to come inside and meet the missus.
No, I said hello, but that's close enough.
And I said to my mom, that would make such a cute plushie. They have to have a worm plushie from The Labyrinth out on the market. And so I go looking. You know those SpongeBob popsicles that just come out more and more cursed the more that they are produced? These worms had that energy. So I'm sending them to my mom. She's laughing. I'm peeing my pants. It's a great time. I then go to tell my sister about this wormy story, and I Snapchat her these videos. They're slippers. More slippers. It becomes this quick inside joke, very fun, very wholesome. My mom's birthday is today. So about a week ago, I did some research and I found a worm that is on the less cursed side. Or so I thought. This was the image that the website provided for me. They definitely stole this from someone's Etsy because this is the worm my mother received.
Help me! Help!
And the little card I gave her specifically says, I found one that isn't cursed.
Have you ever had a dream that you
So
had?
anyway, let's finish up dinner.
Hello.
Ugh, sweaty headphones. First things first, I want to talk about last night's dinner because it was so delicious. I'm having it for breakfast. The cream sauce is just a block of soft tofu, splash of soy milk, nutritional yeast, garlic, veggie bouillon. That's it. Sweet and simple. In the veggie bake, we had some carrots. We had some of that pointy cabbage, leek, red onions, broccoli. I just put some seasoning and some olive oil, slathered that on top, baked it until the veggies seemed done. And then I boiled some potatoes, which is not in the TikTok. It just seemed like it had to happen, and that was a divine choice. I love vegetables. I also just love savory, warm stuff for breakfast, so this is such a win for me. But then she found a book that makes her actually cry. I haven't cried like sobbed over a book since November 2021 when I read Crying at H Mart. It's been almost 2 years. But then for Women in Translation Month, I decided to pick up For Kate Me Meets or Forget Me Not by Alex Garland. This is a book I hadn't heard of before. I just saw it at a bookstore and it felt right. And oh my God, sometimes you just need to listen to your gut. This destroyed me. It's about grandmother, a mother, and then the grandchild. But it's mostly about the grandmother and the grandchild. Grandmother has Alzheimer's, is not happy in her retirement home. So the granddaughter breaks her out so they can go on a little adventure and hopefully kickstart her memories, and we recount that adventure. I'm starting to learn what will destroy me in books because, hello, Crying in H Mart and then this. Just anything that makes me imagine a world where my mom doesn't exist. Not strong enough for that and never will be. So this was very good. It was very heartbreaking. It looks like we're reading a book a day in this video. I didn't start either of these yesterday, but I'm going to today. But right now I'm gonna eat. So cheers, have a happy morning. Hello, we are currently in the hallway because we are playing fetch with Albus. We're like 20 pages into The Employees by Ola Ryman right now. I can already feel it. I can already tell. This requires a much bigger brain than I possess. It takes place in a factory ? And each page has a different statement. Some of them are only a sentence long. You don't know who anyone is. I looked into it. Apparently everyone who works there is either human or not human. You don't know who's who. And that's definitely interesting. I do like the theme of what makes a person a person. I like exploring that. I'm afraid it's gonna all go through one eye and out the other. It is nicely written though. Like the sentences are pretty. Let's play fetch with Albus. Okay, hi, update time. I'm halfway through the book. I really like it actually. It has grown on me. It took me a little bit to get into the flow. It's very experimental, it's very poetic, but it's really good. For example, statement 52. I work closely with Cadet 8 and have got to know her quite well. Unlike me, she was born out of a human body and has walked on the planet. When we talk, she nearly always tells me she misses Earth. I know I'm only humanoid and that it's not the same, but I look like a human and feel the way humans do. I consist of the same parts. Perhaps all that's needed for you to change my status is your documents? Is that a question of name? Could I be a human if you called me one? Aww. It's the chapters that are very clearly from humanoids' perspectives that are the most relatable, that get you thinking. I want to make good choices. If I carry out an action that's unbeknown to me, is counteractive to the program's momentum, I could do nothing but hate myself for it. How am I to know if I'm to hate myself or not? Should I hate myself anyway? Who do I go to for forgiveness? I'd like to be rebooted. Yes, I too lay in bed at night wanting to be rebooted. So yeah, I'm really liking it actually. Flying through it at this point, maybe I do have a big brain. Ooh. Ooh.
I finished The Employees by Olga Ravin. And wow, what an impressive little piece of literature. She kind of had that Samantha Schweblin flavor to it, you know what I mean? I think if you liked Fever Dream, you could get a kick out of this one. I did have to put my thinking cap on, but also at the same time, I got to just kick back and relax and enjoy the prose, much like poetry. It was very beautifully written, very interesting, very thought-provoking. I liked it, I really did. I was not expecting that. I was very intimidated after the first 20 pages, but ooh, yes. She has a new book that was released very recently, and I think I can confidently say that I will be buying that now. Because wow, nice, okay. 3 days, 3 books, bada bing, bada boom. I think I want to play some Sims now as like a little treat. Maybe I'll get some stuff packs or something just to spice up this Tuesday. It's cloudy, it's quiet, it's chilly, I'm sleepy. I think that might be the move. Let's do it. Hello. So, I've been playing a little bit. It's been delightful. I got the greenhouse stuff kit pack thingy because no matter what happens, my Sims always end up being gardeners to some degree, and I've been freeballing the greenhouses. So when I found out that there was a greenhouse kit, and by when I mean a few hours ago, I lost my marbles. So what we've got going right now is my main Sim lady who moved into this empty lot with her dog Ochi, and she's just been collecting stuff and selling stuff and meeting people and trying to find love. She did find love. She is now married to and pregnant with that love. Unfortunately, she did end up stealing this man. This man was definitely somebody else's husband, like with children, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do.
Sorry to this man.
He moved into the house. We got 15K simoleons. Now the place is looking significantly more spiffy, and that's where we're at. Haven't played for that long, but a lot got accomplished. While we were playing, the mail arrived, and we got 3 fun new books. Would you like to do a mini book haul? Brought to you by viewers like you, because each of these 3 books are in my home, in my possession, due to outside internet influence. Starting with Expedition Backyard, which is a super cute graphic novel. I mean, look at it. It's time for adventure in your own backyard. I mean, you've got to be kidding me. This is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Somebody shared this in the Discord, and I've been wanting to read it ever since. It looks so cute. I'm so excited. I love cute and cozy graphic novels. This next one, A Different Sort of Normal by Abigail Ball, is a true story, her memoir, in graphic novels slash pictures slash essays, question mark. It follows her experience being an autistic gal, which is the kind of representation I'm always looking to read. Seems really cute, and I just love having as many autistic type learning resources on my shelf as possible. So this was recommended to me several times in my comments. So Patreon, Discord, comments, and then the BookTube community. I am going to be reading some of BookTube's favorites in a reading vlog in September. That's the plan, at least. Katie Colson made this delightful, comprehensive video. She watched like 100+ creators, all of their favorite books from 2022, did a little tally vote of each one, and then presented us with a list of the top books that BookTube enjoyed. Some of them were already on my TBR, but this one, Andy Weir's Project Hail Mary, was not on my TBR. This is a sci-fi. All I know is that this guy wakes up in space, and I think he doesn't remember how he got there, and I'm pretty sure there's like a couple of dead people. And he has to do these riddles, puzzles, questions that increase in difficulty to get through and unlock more of the spaceship. Just trying to put the pieces together with the protagonist as to what the heck is going on. I saw this in a bookshop and read the first page or so, and the writing seemed to flow really nicely, which I need because it is a genre that I don't have a lot of experience in, and it's almost 500 pages. So stepping out of my comfort zone a little bit with this one, but still very much looking forward to it. Those are the 3 books we got in the mail today. We're not feeling 100%, but we're not feeling terrible either. And we got a lot done. We read a book, we went to the gym, we cleaned the house, we ate some good food, we got some work done, and now we're playing The Sims. And some books came in the mail. I mean, what more could you ask for? The body in pain, more like nothing but gains. Happy Wednesday. We went to the gym, we ran some errands. I designed our bookmark for September. Ooh. I've been struggling with this bookmark because both editions of Biography of X by Catherine Lacey are so different. We've got a bright red one and then one with like green, lime green on the cover. What they do have in common are black and white elements with eyeballs. And I know that there's archival newspapers and stuff in the story. So we ran with it. There she is. Oh, I'm so excited. I was really nervous about this one. So that's that. We had some editing done. We did some designing, like pretty solid day overall. I'm sleepy. I'm so sleepy. We're thriving. We're in pain, but we're also thriving. Designing that really made me want to read some pocket pages. So I think I'm gonna add in When I Sing Mountains Dance into the mix. This is our book club pick for August. By the date that this video goes live, the chat for this one will open in 2 days. There's this one that I really want to read, and of course, My Brilliant Friend, which I still haven't opened. I'm intimidated, okay? I'm really intimidated. So many people have recommended it to me, some of them being friends that I talk to, and I don't want to not like it. I'm afraid. The sun is actually out for the first time in a hot minute. I think I'm gonna make a snack and go outside and read. Does that sound good? I think it does. I want to get away from the screens. Let's do it.
Hello? What just happened? I read a third of My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrante already without even trying. The story is centered around these two best friends. However, it's more so about the town, and I do want more of this friendship. I do crave more dialogue, but somehow this is still pretty readable. I am starting to lose interest ever so slightly because it is just telling. There's no showing. It's like a travel log of this protagonist spilling the tea on everyone in the town, her school, her classmates, her neighbors, which flowed really well for me in the beginning, but everything's going really fast. They're already like halfway through middle school, and I really wanted to stay in that childhood flavor. There were a couple of parts that really got me. We got some tabs. It's pretty good. I'm liking it enough. I got some sunshine. I had to escape because I was getting a little too warm. Grab some more seaweed. I'm just gonna keep reading, I guess. Why not? There's time, there's daylight. Let's do it. Post-dinner walk. There are only 100 pages left, so I'm just gonna knock those out now. Current thoughts, it's losing me quite a bit. I really enjoyed the first 80 pages, definitely starting to be overwhelmed by the characters, but it's still okay. Let's knock this out. I finished. First and foremost, I'm happy to have read this one because it is widely beloved online, and I loved to see what folks loved about it so much. Happy to witness that. It wasn't too terribly much my thing. The writing isn't so much my thing. There were a lot of beautiful lines about childhood and being in that child perspective, but once we zoomed out and we were adults, it just got to be a bit too much for me. I lost interest after that first 80 pages, and I realized that I wasn't connecting with any of the characters because everything was told to me as opposed to me experiencing the things, coming to my own conclusions with things, understanding who people were because of what they were saying. It was all just told to me from the protagonist, which just isn't my thing, and that's okay. I think if you like Sally Rooney, you would like this one. I think if you like The Book of Goose, that you could like this one a lot. I did like the themes surrounding female friendships and that unavoidable yet unintentional competition that just happens to blossom all of the time, but to me it just felt too much like a book that is assigned to you for school, where I didn't know what was important, I didn't know what wasn't important, and I struggled to be invested. So I don't think I'm gonna continue with the series, but I'm still happy to have read it. Day 4 done, 4 books done. I think today was pretty good. I'm gonna wash my face now and stretch and maybe play some Sims and definitely do some journaling and just kind of settle in for the evening. This has been a Wednesday.
my goodness. I feel like $1,000,000 today.
Honey,
Today's the first day that I can actively say, hey,
you've got a big storm
I feel good.
coming.
In so long. Wow, 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 wow. So we didn't go to the gym this morning because my body actually let me sleep in until almost 7 a.m. Woo! Celebrate what you can, man. Anyway, I let myself sleep in and then I spent the whole morning working. It's just been editing town. Population me. But I do still want to get my heart rate up. Still want to get that cardio in. We're gonna play Just Dance. What a fun game. I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Did you know that you can play
Almost
every single Just Dance ever with just one Just Dance? Because I didn't. As long as you have one of the newer games like 2019 and up, maybe even 2018, I don't know, Google it. You pay 20 bucks a year and you get
almost
all of the songs on one game. You don't have to switch out your games to do different dances. This is huge. How did none of you tell me about this? You can pop in your Just Dance 2021 and still access your 2012 Slumber Party Dreams Dance to Hot and Cold by Katy Perry. Ooh, so good. And so if you're somebody that hates the gym, maybe you hate running, maybe it's hard to get outside, I understand. So much cheaper than a gym. My favorite songs are Voltvarok and Tel Aviv. Sorry for my Midwestern ass pronunciations of those songs. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we're gonna read outside and have a pool party because it's finally sunny. Oh my goodness. Happy Thursday. Megastar, no big deal. Megastar, megastar. No. Come on, don't ruin this for me. Don't ruin this for me. Yes, yes, yes. Megastar, baby! Hello. I either went way too hard dancing or went way too hard in the sun or both. Can you blame me? I was just very excited to be alive today and I am paying the price. I am so tired. My eyes, my head, nope. I'm not burnt to a crisp. I've maybe gotten 1 or 2 sunburns in my life, but like hot meat. I'm working through this pain management workbook that I got on Kindle. We're like almost at the halfway point. I'm enjoying learning about pain, what pain is. A lot of the exercises, they're non-applicable to having a hemiplegic migraine. We're making our way through it. Haven't picked up the myth of normal this whole week, but I am determined to finish it. Maybe. I also started When I Sing Mountains Dance. Is my brain big enough for this? A mystery, but I am enjoying what I can. I'm reading it like a poem. This is such beautiful writing. In a perfect world, we will be waking up and doing our 5th day of gymming, literally just to move my body a little bit, get the heart rate up, get the stress down, hopefully suffer less. But I don't know. I might not. I might not. Like if my body actually is gonna let me sleep,
Honey,
I might let it do that. However, I may or may have not gotten some more book mail, but don't hate me. One of them is one that I pre-ordered in December or January and was literally published in May. But for whatever reason, it has only just arrived because that's what it's like in Belgium. You have to put your patient pants on. The other one, you can get a little mad at me if you want, but also still hear me out because in our last upload, I shared with you all of my favorite books of all time. And I asked for recommendations that are not only your favorites, but also seem to vibe with what I jive with in a favorite book. And so I ordered a few. I did. I'm not just saying, oh, please comment down below because I want engagement or whatever. I genuinely am here for the bookish community. I truly love the buzz. I love hearing what everyone's reading, what everyone's loving. Like, I just love talking about books. I love it. Not joking. When I say my TBR shelf is never not growing because of comments, exhibit 387. That book is Goodbye Again, Essays, Reflections, and Illustrations by Johnny Sun. Johnny Sun wrote Everyone's an Alien When You're an Alien, which is a graphic novel that I loved so much. And I did not know that this book existed until someone commented it. A book that I pre-ordered that the suspense has been so high for. It's by one of my favorite graphic novel creators ever, Tilly Walden, and it's junior high. It's finally here. By Tegan and Sarah and Tilly Walden. It's finally here. Oh, slurp slurp. I've missed Walden's art style so much. I've missed it so much. I don't think I've read anything by Walden since November or something. It's been many moons. Oh my goodness. So it's very well possible that one of these non-fictions takes a back seat. What a great weekend book. Like, it might just happen and that's fine. So that's that. Another mini book haul. Woo! I'm in pain. I'm cooked meat, but it's a good day to be alive. I'm in bed. It's like 8 p.m. I'm done. I'm over it. We logged a lot of editing hours. We got some reading done. I'm gonna do my journaling because I've been doing that. Good night. It's gonna be another sleepless night, I'm afraid. Hello, happy Friday. I did not sleep at all last night. She got a little migraine, so I feel hungover and sad and defeated. I have no spoons. Absolutely 0 spoons. I know that my workbook would be so mad at me for isolating. God forbid a girl rests after a migraine. But at the same time, I did force myself to come outside and have my breakfast because the sun is shining and it smells really nice and it's really a beautiful day. And I'm doing this instead of scrolling on the internet.com in my dark room in bed. So you know what? Maybe the workbook is doing more than I'm giving it credit for. I'm sure some coffee and breakfast will help a little bit, hopefully. Look at my mug. My friend Alex got it for me. Isn't it sublime? Happy Friday. I'll check back in once things make more sense. Bye.
Hello. So yesterday sucked so bad. Got a roomie here. Make a wish. But I mean, hey, we survived it. We're here. We're alive. We're feeling a little bit better. Body's a little sore. Mind's a little scrambled, but that's fine. Because you know what I did today? I decided to hit up my local used bookstore and comic book shop. Now, the used books were technically free because I exchange books that I unhaul at the used bookstore. Then I get credit and then I get free books. Everybody wins. So let's go over the used ones first. We got The Waves by Virginia Woolf. This is a vintage edition. My friend Christy is always trying to get me to read more Virginia Woolf. She swears by her. I am intimidated by classics. It's hard for me to get into them, but this one's on the shorter side and it's a concept that I think I would like. It says it begins with 6 children and we follow these 6 children into adulthood. It's kind of giving me Never Let Me Go in that respect. And what makes me less intimidated about picking up this classic is that I've got a good friend who knows all of the Virginia Woolf info. So if I have any questions, I can go to her and be less afraid. Sniff test. Sublime. I then got a book that I technically already own, but the one that I own is a very new edition, and this one's from the 80s. Look at this beautiful edition of Toni Morrison's Beloved. I mean, here's the thing. The other Toni Morrison I have, Song of Solomon, is also from the 80s. They just look so beautiful together. I couldn't not. It was free. This is Morrison's most infamous work. Such a find. Then we've got 3 thrillers that I picked up just because of BookTube people's feelings. The first 2 were because of Gabby Reads. I've read a lot of books as per her recommendation and have enjoyed them, so we're in good hands. The first is Jar of Hearts by Jennifer Hillier. I read a Jennifer Hillier because of Gabby's book club, but she was a little disappointed in that one and said that other Hilliers were better. And on her Goodreads, she gave this one 5 stars. It's about a girl whose ex-boyfriend was a murderer, turned serial killer on the run, and now bodies are showing up. Oh God, the message is clear. He's making his way to her, one murder at a time. We shall see. The next is a Lisa Jewell book, Then She Was Gone, Missing Girl, A Buried Secret. Seems pretty straightforward. I've heard great things about Lisa Jewell. I've never read anything by her, so I'm excited. This one also got 5 stars from Gabby. I believe this girl's sister goes missing 15 years in the past, and then she starts dating someone, and his daughter looks like her missing sister. Don't know. The next thriller I picked up because Katie Marie Reads recently read it, and it is Something in the Water by Catherine Steedman. This was just in her July reading review. She said it was really great, but she couldn't tell us why because all the reasons that she loved it were spoilers. I get so extra excited when I see book titles that I recognize from internet spaces on used bookstore bookshelves because it's pretty slim pickings in Belgium when it comes to trying to find English books, especially secondhand, you know? And last but not least, at the used bookstore, I got Nevermore by Jessica Townsend, Martin het Nederlands. This is the Dutch language version. It is in such good condition. It's this beautiful hardcover. It was only 12 euros, but I got it for free, technically, legally speaking. I've been recommended this one so many times, but little did y'all know, I've been on the hunt for this one since like fall of 2021, ever since I saw Leora talking about it. So honestly, truly speechless when I saw this on the shelf. This is the first of the 3. It's about a girl. She's a witch. She goes to a school with other magical kids. not just a school, it's a whole world called Nevermore, just to see what her unique talent is. Looks cute. It's a middle grade. I'm excited. I get so intimidated reading Dutch books. Like, I have the first and the second, The Girl Who Drank the Moon, but it's in Dutch, and so I just get so nervous. I just need to believe in myself and be patient. Anyway, these are the 6 books that I got at the used bookstore. I got to scratch that itch, sniff a bunch of stories, spend time amongst books. Like, this is my therapy. My job is books. Books just make me so happy. So I just knew that if that's how I started my day today, yesterday will be in the past. I mean, I know that it literally is, but you know what I mean. But then damage was done at the comic book shop. It really was. And I have no regrets whatsoever. None. So let's talk about it. First, I got Mouse Guard by David Peterson. This is just a cute mouse adventure. The art looks so crazy good. Look at these little mice on adventures. Look at the mice. Look at how cute. He's ready to go. Oh my God. Mice struggle to live safely and prosper among all the world's harsh conditions and predators. Thus, the Mouse Guard was formed. Follow the adventures of 3 of the Guard's finest. I will. I look forward to it. Ah, so cute. So cute. Up next, I got a few issues of this series. This is a big book collector sin that I cannot seem to scratch myself out of. But technically, all 4 of the things that I purchased are series. And this is the only one that I bought more than one of. Okay, the other ones, I just got the first one. That's a lie. Oops. That's a lie. Let me live. Okay, anyway, the point is, I've been recommended I Hate Fairyland by Scotty Young so many times, and it has such a cool juxtaposition of cutesy, youthful art with gory, graphic, grimy art as well. She's in this magical world called Fairyland, so she's stuck in a 6-year-old body, but she's technically like 30 years old. I've had my eyes peeled for this one for also years. I just know I'm gonna love it. It just looks so good, okay? I'm confident. I have no fears. It looks funny. It looks adventurous. The colors are to die for. Like, yeah, I got 4 of them. I did, because I didn't want to just buy the first one, and then I go to get the second one, and they only have the third one, and so on and so forth. It's just really hard to keep a series out here sometimes. And I knew I would like it anyway, so I did. I just got 4. I did. I'm sorry, but I'm also not, you know? Woo! I feel happier, okay? I was really sad yesterday, and I'm really happy today because I made these choices. Okay, next. I picked up Slumber Volume 1. I've never heard of this one before, but just listen to the blurb. We've all had nightmares that haunt us. What if you could pay someone to shoot that nightmare on the damn face so you could finally sleep at night? Sold. Immediately sold. Again, very impressive art, very impressive colors. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be more than fine, actually. And last but not least, another one that I've never heard of before, but our protagonist Abel has a fox familiar. Need I say more? It's called Middle West. This is the compendium. We've talked about this. I love compendiums. I have the Paper Girls compendium. I have the Sweet Tooth compendium. I know I have to read it. I will read it soon, I promise. It seems like something that would be great for October or spooky Halloween time, right? Tell me if I'm wrong. Anyway, kid with fox escapes home, lives in a mysterious land. It seems like it's cute and fun and adventurous, but also touches on dark themes, which is just some of my favorite stuff. So that's that. That's all. That's all. That's it. Half of these were free. I'm very pleased with the energy that we've made in the studio today. This could have been its own video, but alas, here we are. But now, as you can see, actually you can't. Most of the stacks are down here. As you can see, the TBR shelf is kind of a mess. It's a little chaotic. It needs some tender love and care. So that's what I think I'm gonna do now. I think I'm gonna straighten this up and make this look nice. This is what we're working with, top to bottom. These are what the shelves look like right now. I'm gonna give it a nice organization, and we'll check back in after. Sound good? Thank you for watching. Girl invests in special interests. Bye! We did it. It's so organized. Let's go over it really quickly. On the tippity top shelf, we have Dutch books into poetry, into nonfictions, general nonfictions. The second shelf is completely graphic novels, comics, and manga. Very exciting. And then it sort of goes into chaos. We've got a bunch of general fictions. To the right here, we have memoirs, more general fiction, but then on the right we have cozy fantasies, cozy sci-fis, leading into thrillers, because right below that we've got some more thrillers, and then serious general. We've got some smut hiding in the corner. We've got book of the month at the bottom, and just the lower you get, the more miscellaneous the stacks become. But you know what? There's still some rhyme or reason here. This is nice. Okay, great. Let's talk about what has been read and what needs to be read, because this week has almost come to a close. What you haven't seen, however, is that I finished my pain workbook last night. I've been working on it slowly throughout the week. In the beginning of this video, as you saw, I had
had some pretty frustrated feelings about it. It's just hard to know when to push yourself and when to rest, and I don't think that this book necessarily helped me understand where that line is. I struggle to find that line of where self-care starts, self-harm ends, but she does make it very clear that it is a journey and it is very specific to you. The second issue I have with this book is that it is very beginner in my opinion. Like, there's a whole page about why gratitude is important, breathing exercises, things like that, but that doesn't make the book objectively bad. That just means that it's less so for me, but I think it could be a great resource if you are fresh to the therapy space, fresh to trying to figure out how to relax. But overall, I thought that this was an okay workbook, self-help book regarding these topics. The major strength is that it doesn't just tell you what you should be doing, it tells you how to do it. And I feel like a lot of the time self-help books neglect to show the how. You read it and you're like, that's great advice. Now, how does it get done? And this one does that. I'm happy I read it. If you aren't very interested in the workbook, I do recommend the podcast that this author is featured on, the Ologies podcast about chronic pain. It was so interesting. Thank you to the person who DM'd me recommending me the episode of this podcast, because I do like Ologies, but there are so many episodes, it's hard to know where to start. This is a great one to start with. So 5 books down, if we want to read 7 books in 7 days, which is what the title suggests, we have 2 more to finish. So we've got our book club book, When I Sing Mountains Dance, to finish. We are already like a third of the way into it, so I have high hopes. I believe in myself. We can totally finish this today. I also want to pick up and read Junior High by Tegan and Sarah and Tilly Walden. It shouldn't take too much time. It's a Saturday. The only other thing that I have planned is a dinner with family later, so I honestly think that for the next few hours we are just going to rest, because while I did have a lot of fun book shopping and organize my bookshelf, oh my gosh, was that a lot of work. Let us rest our bodies, read these 2 books, and finish off this vlog with a bang. Shall we? We shall.
Hello, I'm wearing a very pretty dress and it's time for dinner. We did it! We survived! With only 3 nights of absolutely abhorrent sleep, that's like technically legally less than half, right? Let's do a reading check-in because there's 2 books that we've yet to discuss, and then I'd like to kind of tier rank them so that we know which ones I recommend the most. The most recent book I finished was Junior High by Tegan Quinn, Sarah Quinn, and Tilly Walden. It's a fictional version of Tegan and Sarah's lives growing up in middle school, so even though they went to middle school in 1991, this takes place in present day. I loved this one. Like, Tilly Walden's artwork to me just feels like home. I love being inside of her stories, and I also thought that the writing, the story itself, was very sweet and true to such an awkward stage of your life. Something that's ever present in this one and all of Tilly Walden's work for me are the themes surrounding girlhood and female friendships and connections. I had high expectations for this one and they were all met. Last night we also finished When I Sing Mountains Dance by Irene Sola, which is our book club book for this month, so we'll be discussing it in just 2 days. I'm so excited. At first I was very confused by the writing style, but then once I got used to the choices that this author was making, it became this very fun puzzle, and I got such a kick out of putting the pieces together. I truly have so many tabs and underlines in this one. I am so excited to share our favorite moments in the Discord for this. This was lovely and a little magical and creative and just so impressive in my opinion. Really blew me away. The rest of the books we already discussed, so let's do a quick rapid fire ranking situation. I'm gonna have to put My Brilliant Friend and The Memory Police at the bottom for me, but the bottom does not mean I hated it. I thought that they were okay. At the end of the day, I just think that I wasn't compatible with these writing styles, but I can still totally see how they're compatible with so many people. These are both very popular books, and I definitely saw why. I'm not leaving these books confused as to how anybody could like them. I would have to say that I liked the workbook. I mean, it is a self-help book, so naturally not everything is going to apply to you, not everything is going to work for you. It's really about the work that you put into it. It's your journey, all that jazz. I really enjoyed learning about pain, and there were a couple of exercises that really got me, especially there's one towards the end about you being more than your pain that almost got me crying. But there were a lot of parts that also irked me a lot and made me feel more alone and more frustrated. So very middle of the road, very confusing feelings about this one. I really enjoyed The Employees by Olga Ravin, Where I Sing Mountains Dance by Irene Sola, and Junior High by Tilly Walden. All 3 of these were just told in a way that was so chronically readable to me, and what makes them stand out is that they're memorable. Like, these are themes and lines and ideas and moments that are going to stand out for me for quite some time. Just so well done. I could confidently recommend all 3. But then of course, top tier, top of the line book of this week was For Kate Me Needs or Forget Me Not by Alex Guerin. This one got me crying, this one got me giggling, learning, reflecting, hurting, all of the above. Especially for a book that I hadn't heard of before and had no expectations of, somehow it still exceeded all of them. Highly recommend, but take care of yourself. And that's that. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way through. If you did, I know it's a long one. I intended it to be so. Seeing as we're doing every other week of uploading, I hope everyone is happy with this setup. Thank you so much for your patience and your love and support throughout all of this. This cozy corner of the internet would not be what it is without y'all. And if you'd like to keep this cozy corner of the internet alive, I will link the Patreon down below. It is 100% thanks to everyone on there that I'm able to call this my job and continue creating on the internet.com with y'all, which is my favorite thing to do. Remember, the habit trackers are up there for anybody who joins at any tier. We've got our book club on there and all kinds of fun perks if you have the means and would like to join us if you like. And of course, another extra special thank you to Luisa for sponsoring today's video. Friendly reminder, you can get 20% off whatever you may choose on the website by clicking the link in the description box below and using the code AllieV20 at checkout. And as always, thank you for clicking, thank you for caring, and thank you for being nice. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!